we are following constitutional provisions. Because you know the impeachment clause itself is subject to the supremacy provision of the Constitution. If you look at section 1, subsection 2 of the Constitution, it says these constitutions shall be supreme. And it shall bind all persons, all authorities. That's why the Constitution is described as the uncommanded commander. You understand what I'm saying? So, and except we follow, so you see, there's no doubt that the impeachment clause in the Constitution starts to use useful purpose. To check the excesses of the executive and to address serious governance issues. It should be sparingly used. And when used, it should be used judiciously.
So, sorry, just to take you back a little, couple of steps. Now, in terms of the finality of this process, legally, would you say that once the panel returns a verdict of not guilty to all of the allegations, does it end there? Or does it still have to go back to the House for them to take action on it?
Of course, the panel must report to the House about the outcome of the investigation. Like I said earlier, the impeachment process is the exclusive preserve of the House, subject to judicial intervention in constituting a panel.
Okay. In this case, Mr. Shitu, the House is not happy with the report they have got. Can they do anything else?
If the House is not happy with the report they have got, as far as this procedure is concerned, the steps they can take is to challenge the exercise of that judicial power by the CJ in the court of law, that the CJ, in their opinion, has not exercised the judicial powers vested in him judiciously and judicially. They can do that.
Okay.
And only a court order to the contrary can determine. But as far as Constitution is concerned now, the CJ has done its job. The panel has turned a verdict of not guilty, whether rightly
and the next
or
step
wrongly.
will then be?
Secondly, the other option open to the House is to petition the NJC about the conduct of the CJ in constituting the panel. And going by precedence, it has happened before in Plateau State, it has happened before in Anambra State, it has happened before in Ekiti State, where former judges, chief judges of those states, were sanctioned by the NJC for the partition role they played in the impeachment process. But until that, we get to that bus stop. As far as this process is concerned, constitutionally, it is concluded.
Okay. But the members of the House raised objection and said that they didn't have any faith in the panel based on the fact that of the 7 members, 2 were members of the PDP, they alleged, and 1 was a civil servant.
Okay. The House, there is no provision under the Constitution giving the House the power to choose, to pick and choose
Who should be a member of the
who
panel?
should be members. It is a power that is vested in the CJ, who in his opinion will determine membership of the panel. If they have reservations about the membership, like I told you, 2 options are available to them. They can challenge that in the court of law and get a court order, or petition the NJC, who, going by precedence in the past, had dealt with such issues before. But right now, as far as this issue is concerned, following the Constitution, because if we claim we are in a democracy, then we should be prepared to behave like what? Democrats. And and moving forward, behaving like democrats here means respect for the Constitution, respect for the rule of law, respect for due process. Now, as far as this process is concerned, in the eye of the law,
it followed due process.
I mean, the procedure is concluded.
Okay.
But we have reservations because you know when a procedure is concluded, it can be concluded.
It is not over.
It can be concluded in accordance with due process or in subversion of due process. It is not for me seated here to determine that. It's for the judiciary or the NGC.
Thank you very much.
Now, Mr. Mohammed, what is the current mood in Nasarawa State in light of what happened in the course of the week, the acquittal?
Yes, the people of Nasarawa State have been vindicated when upon the purported service of notice of impeachment by the House, they rose up in unison to protest that unpopular action by these legislators. You could see that the protest was spontaneous, it was widespread. All local government areas rose up in unison the next day without any prompting. And as at now, people's nerves have been calmed because of the conclusion of this process. But the action of the PDP 2 days ago, with that rally, urging the legislators to continue with the process, really alerted us to a possible new vista into this impeachment saga. That it is possible they may have something in the offing in terms of impunity. Whatever it is, we do not know yet.
Okay. Well, we have to begin to wrap. In fact, we have to wrap up now from what I'm being told. But let me ask you this: the governor is aware that he's running a state that has 20 out of 24 members of the State House of Assembly.
Yes.
So it means that he's prone to all kind of accidents of the State Assembly. Any kind of thing can happen to him. What is he doing to ensure that he brings them on board and carries them along so that this amount of trouble does not continue?
The current impeachment saga is the 8th in the series of impeachment threats that have been issued. This one is coming because it is coming at the heels of the 2015 election. With all the successes recorded by the APC administration, by His Excellency Governor Tanko Al-Makura, it is clear that a rout of the PDP in 2015 is imminent. And this portends grave danger to the chances of PDP and their apparatchik in Abuja. And that is why they feel that the only way to get the people to get to power in Nasarawa State is by using the impeachment tool. And having failed now, you could see the desperation in them, the desperation in the legislator to begin to arrogate to themselves powers they do not possess. And for the apparatchik in Abuja to begin to urge them on when they know very well that the process is on. They were bringing issues of the presidency. We have always insisted that presidency has nothing to do with this. We know it is the Nasarawa State indigents who are in Abuja that are pushing to ensure that they grab power at all costs, having been rejected by the people. And they want to use the name of the presidents to cover up their antic. And we know the president has nothing to do with this, and we are fighting them and not the president. So as it is, we have weathered this storm. We have had a lot of obstacles along the way since his assumption of office. There have been frivolous resolutions they have passed, frivolous laws they have passed, which we have been managing with them. At a time, they said the governor cannot travel abroad until he seeks permission from them. There was a law they enacted for a 1-year tenure for elected local government chairmen.
1-year tenure, but it has to be signed by the governor, though.
He didn't sign. They overrode his accent and signed. And
signed it?
Yes.
And made it into law?
Made it into law.
Okay. Well, it seems like there's still a lot yet to happen in the saga of impeachment.
The governor is still
Nasarawa
interested in
State.
working with the assembly. He has extended his Olive branch. He wants to rapproche more with them. He wants to work. They have a mandate by the people of Nasarawa State to develop the state. Okay. The state have not seen development for the 12 years of its creation before the assumption of office of the governor. And now that development is coming on stream, they are truncating it. Okay. And that is why the people are protesting.
Okay, yes. Thank you very much, Hamza Mohammed, Commissioner for Information in Nasarawa State, and Mr. Wahab Shitu, who is a legal practitioner. Thank you very much. I am sure that this conversation is not ending yet. We will be calling you back very soon because the saga continues.